Hey, it's Iris. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, helping you to find your passion and make it your work. Now, if you've watched last week's video, then you'll know that I started my career in the corporate world and that it made me absolutely miserable. You'll also know why I felt like I had to break away from that, why I had to make a change. In this week's video, I'm going to share part 2 of the story, and that is how I figured out what else to do with my career. And I'm sharing that in the hope that it will help you to figure out what else to do with your career if you're currently feeling stuck or unsure what else that it is that you want to do with your career. But before I do that, as always, you know what to do. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That will tell me exactly what kind of content you're into, so I can then go and create more of those videos. And it'll also help me to grow my YouTube channel, so I'll be eternally grateful for it. All right, let's get to it. So how did I figure out what else to do with my career? Well, let me start by saying one thing that I didn't do, or rather didn't have, and that was an epiphany or a light bulb moment. And I said that in last week's video already, if you've seen it, because it's a thing that I want to say again. A lot of people seem to believe that in a career change, or when you're figuring out what it is that you should or want to do with the rest of your career, that all of a sudden this idea pops up in your head and you know what to do, and that's just not the case. And my journey, it felt messy. I had a lot of questions. I was uncertain a lot of time. I doubted myself a lot of the time. And I can sit here and pretend like it was all easy and straightforward, but I don't think that will be A, very honest, because it wasn't the case, and B, it won't help you because you might be in that stage right now where it feels messy and you don't have all the answers and you don't know where you're heading. And I want you to know that that's all part of the journey. It's all part of figuring out what it is that you want to do with your career. So please don't doubt yourself or doubt what you're doing if you don't have all the answers right now. At the moment, you don't need to. Things will become clearer as you start to take action and start moving in a direction that feels appealing and interesting and exciting to you. Now, there are a few things that I did do when I was figuring out what else to do with my career. And roughly you can break it down into 3 steps. The first thing that I did was I asked myself, what am I interested in? What do I care about? Now, I'll go into that step and I'll explain a little bit more about it in a second, but I just want to explain the 3 steps that I took first. So first step, what am I interested in? What do I care about? That was the first thing I did. Then the second thing I did is I tried different things. I didn't go all in on the first thing that came up in my mind. And then finally, the third thing I did is once I figured out what it is that I wanted to do, then I doubled down on it. So I asked myself, what am I interested in? What do I care about? Second thing, I tried different things, and then finally I doubled down on the thing I knew I wanted to do. All right, so let me explain that in a little bit more detail. The first step, asking myself, what am I interested in? What do I care about? Quite a few things came up for me, actually. I realized I'm interested in travel. Well, realized I already knew that. I was interested in travel, in cooking, in fitness, in yoga, wellness, meditation. I was interested in personal development. So quite a few things. And intuitively, I already and immediately cut out travel and cooking because I knew that was something that I wanted to keep more as a hobby than as a professional pursuit. So that left me with quite a few other things: fitness, yoga, wellness, meditation, personal development. Now, how did I make a choice? Well, actually having all those things out there, initially I found that quite confusing because how do you then decide which ones of those to focus on? So what I did is I started doing a bit of desk research around personal development because that was the one that really jumped out for me. I didn't commit to personal development at that time because I had no idea or no clue what a career in personal development could look like, but I started doing, as I said, a bit of desk research. And as I was doing my desk research, I then learned that coaching, specifically life coaching, is something that falls within that personal development bracket, if that makes sense. So I learned more about life coaching, and I learned about a taster weekend for life coaching training that was happening in London at the time. So I signed up for that. I kind of thought it'd be a good idea to get a feeling for it, to better understand what it's like. Went to the taster weekend. Actually, the taster weekend itself was quite awful. I didn't like it, but I loved what was being talked about. I love the idea of life coaching. So I found another life coaching training program, and I signed up for that immediately. Now, it's important to know that at the time, I didn't have a clear idea as to how this would translate into a profession or into a career. I simply knew that life coaching, personal development was something that I was interested in and that I wanted to explore or pursue further. And doing a life coaching training, kind of thought to myself, you know what, this is interesting for me anyhow. It'd be great if I can turn it into a career. But at the moment, all I care about is that I'm moving into a direction that I am excited about. I'm moving into a direction that I care about. I'm moving into a direction that I feel I'm interested in, that excites me. And as I've later learned, that's very important. That's one of the most important steps to take, really, is to understand what you're interested in and to start following that, to start pursuing that. But I didn't go all into coaching just yet. I was still wondering about these other things that I was interested in: wellness, fitness, yoga, meditation. So what I did is I dipped my toes in that too. I started my own business, The Well Scene, and I started organizing pop-up fitness and yoga events around London initially, and then later in Amsterdam and Los Angeles. Now, I did that for a good 3 to 4 years. And let me tell you, those 3 to 4 years weren't easy because I was exploring coaching. At the time, I was actually started to take on clients, learn more about coaching, what it takes to set up a coaching business, and if I would like that, what it entails, all those kind of things. And I was running my pop-up fitness and yoga business. So when people ask me, what is it that you do with your career? What is it what you do for a living? I wasn't 100% sure. Was it coaching? Was it something in the wellness and fitness world? I was neither here nor there. I wasn't sure where I belonged. I wasn't sure where my career was headed. So it was a very confusing time. But looking back on it, it was an incredibly valuable time. Those 3 to 4 years opened my horizon. It showed me what the possibilities were. I met a ton of brilliant, fantastic people, and it gave me experience to firsthand figure out what I wanted to do, and that was coaching. By doing both, by dipping my toes in the fitness and yoga or fitness and wellness world, as well as doing coaching, I realized that my heart lay in coaching. So that's when I doubled down. When I realized that my heart lay in coaching, I started making plans to hand over the Well Scene, and I started focusing more and more on my coaching practice. And that's also when people started asking me, so what is it that you do for a living? I felt comfortable to say I'm a coach. I help people to find their passion and make it their work. Now, all in all, it's taken me roughly 5 years to figure out what I wanted to do with my career. Told you it wasn't quite the epiphany. So what I'm hoping with this video is that by sharing my story and by sharing the steps that I've taken, that will take you less time. It won't take you 5 years to figure out what it is that you want to do with your career. So remember, the 3 things that I did and that I later learned are integral, super important to help you find your passion and make it your work, is to ask yourself, number 1, what am I interested in? What do I care about? Then if multiple things come up, you don't need to choose one thing yet. Dip your toes into different things, try different things out. And then once you have that experience and get a better understanding of what it's really like, and you know what you want to do, then double down on the thing that you want to do. All right, that's what I had for you today. So in next week's video, I'm going to share how to find more meaning in your job, especially if you've lost motivation, enthusiasm, or love for it right now. So if you're interested to know more about that, then please make sure you tune in again next Wednesday. Subscribe to my email list over on irissmith.com. I'll share the link below this video. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week.